First, let me give you some background. It's important for you to know this. Reading books isn't my full time job. This channel barely makes any money. It doesn't make any profit for sure. So, reading and making videos about books is a hobby I have kept up despite having a very demanding 9 to 5 job, my partner's side business as well, and my own fun content creation stuff that I'm doing right now. So, despite all this, I continue this channel as I believe it's very important to highlight Indian books and writing. Not enough people are doing it. So I do these videos where I highlight some very interesting latest book releases from Indian authors. I will link a playlist down below in the description which has all such videos that I've done in the past in case you want to check out the previous videos in this particular series. I haven't read any of these books, just as a disclaimer. I may not read most of them, but they are really the books you must watch out for, in my opinion. These are interesting, at least like interesting books, interesting subjects, and something I feel like some of you might be interested in. So, in this video, I will give you 10 such names and also tell you why I found those interesting. So, first, let's look at some books for children. To develop a reading habit, it's important you start early. If you are a responsible parent or a new parent, you're already focusing on providing good books to your kids to set them up for success. If you're not focusing on that right now, start. Now, while we do have Enid Blyton and likewise, what about books by Indian authors? What about Indian books? First and foremost, you need Sudha Murthy. She has written several books for kids and she is good. Her latest book, How the Bamboo Got Its Bounty, is another one written for children of 5+ years. It's an illustrated and a simple story about bamboo, yes, the plant, and its service to humanity. Number 2 in my list is The Misadventures of a Diamond Thief by Lubena Bandukwala. Again, it's for kids of 9+ years. This book is set in 16th century Hyderabad and features a clan of time traveling jinns who are also thieves. We meet Rafu, who's a jinn who actually wants to leave this life of being a thief and pursue his passion for cooking. But then the king of jinns tasks him with this mission to like the end mission or the last mission, that is to steal a Shahinu diamond, and there the adventure begins. Will Rafu be able to escape this life of being a thief and pursue his passion for cooking? It's a light-hearted read about adventure, 16th century Hyderabad at the time when Charminar was being built. And it features jinns and possibly some time travel. So I think kids would love it. What do you think? Now, let's move on to some famous celebrity books. Welcome to Paradise by Twinkle Khanna. Twinkle Khanna went from being a Bollywood actor to being Mrs. Funnybones as she wrote columns in a newspaper, and then she forayed into writing actual books. Her first one was Mrs. Funnybones, which is the only Twinkle Khanna book that I have read. It was not good according to me. I felt like I wasted my money on it. I still picked up her next book, Pajamas Are Forgiving, couldn't get through it, and then I finally called quits on reading Twinkle Khanna. As of now, I might change my mind. Now, while I may think her books are a waste of time for somebody like me, sorry for my blunt honesty, but I still see so many people who enjoy her books. Maybe you love her books. Maybe you have enjoyed Mrs. Funnybones and you're right now hating me for saying that I do not like Twinkle Khanna books. That could be true. And yes, I don't know. I feel like you get to have your opinion, you get to enjoy her books, even when I do not prefer to read them. So this is all okay and we can still be friends, and you now know about her latest book, right? Anyway, her latest book is a collection of 5 short stories showcasing different emotions and different phases in life. These stories are a lot about grief and could be heartbreaking from what I have dug up about them. But yeah, I don't know how these are in actual. If you read this book, please let me know. 2 more famous people who became writers before we speak about actual writers. Okay, do not hate me. I'm not saying they're not actual writers. Now they are. So that's why we are talking about them. So let's talk about Kanan Gill. Do you remember him? I remember Kanan being one of the funniest people on internet when YouTube in India had started. You know, he had this YouTube channel where he made this video with one another guy, Biswa, and they made this video mocking the movie Main Prem Ki Diwani Hoon. It's still one of the funniest videos I have seen on YouTube in my whole life. If you are like young and you haven't seen that video from that time, just go and find it. Like Main Preem Ki Diwani Hu review, Kanan Gill, search something like that, and you will find it, and it's so funny. Anyway, let's stop thinking about how old I am getting and talk a bit about like Kanan's book. He has written his first book and it's a science fiction. It's like different. It's a comedy science fiction. The book has a powerful description or like the blurb on Amazon, and like it mentions all of these names like Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett, Douglas Adams, and some very famous names in the science fiction writing world. And I'm like curious and excited about this book. I have a feeling it's going to be a great one because I know Kanan is like a great person at humor, and I hope it finds a lot of readers, and I do plan to read it soon. So I am very excited about talking more about this book soon on the channel, for which you have to subscribe, like, and share and comment on this video so that a lot more people are watching the videos. Okay, the more people watch, the more I feel excited about like bringing more videos to you. So please do this for me as a favor. Thank you. Anyway, another celebrity book comes from the YouTube fame or the person who really like made a lot of people buy YouTube Premium in around 2020. So that, um, and mainly so that they can avoid the excessive Ankur Warikoo ads. Yes, Ankur Warikoo. Can you believe that he's coming out with his third book already? Make Epic Money. It's a non-fiction book on personal finance. Now, I have read some books on personal finance, like some of the best books that are out there. And from the Indian books, my favorite one is 13 Steps to Bloody Good Wealth, written by Ashwin Sanghi and Sunil Dalal. I think I read it a long time back, and I really love this book because I think it's just like full of value. And Ankur Warikoo's book, now that I'm making this video, I wrote the script like I did my research a few weeks ago. Now that I'm making this video, I've already read the book, so I can tell you, yeah, it's a good one. I have a full video coming up very soon that discusses everything that I learned or took away from this book. So do check out this video. But yes, have you picked up any other Ankur Warikoo books so far? If so, let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, moving on and talking about Ashwin Sanghi. He's also coming out with his new thriller series, or at least the first book in the series this year. It's called Razor Sharp. It's set in Mumbai and features a serial killer and a bit of a rec cop, Prakash Kadam. I'm actually going to pick this book this year, sometime this year. Yes, it's in my TBR because I have very high expectations from Ashwin Sanghi. I read a lot of murder mysteries in the last few years, but mostly cozy and simple kind, okay? And I'm ready for something different. And you know that you can rely on Ashwin Sanghi for a complex, great plot that really, just nobody else is doing it in India. Like those kind of complex, powerful plots with so much research and with like so many complex pieces, only and only Ashwin Sanghi can do it. I haven't seen that from anybody else. Like something that's actually readable and enjoyable. So yeah. I love Ashwin Sanghi. Anyway, now we are in the famous Indian author space. Ashwin Sanghi is done. Amish, he has been writing these books about gods and Dharam with his sister Bhavna Roy as a co-writer. I actually picked up Dharam. I remember reading it and then I just like DNF'd it. I'm sorry. So yeah. Yeah, this is the reason why I am not going to pick up this book, even though I know like all of you like love to hear more about Amish and his books. Maybe I'll pick it up. If enough of you need me to pick it up and talk about it, I will. But otherwise, I do not plan to pick up this book. Yeah, this book is about idol worship. The writers bring back the fictional characters from Dharam, who basically are going to look at questions about idol worshipping this time. And it's a non-fiction wrapped with fictional characters, just like their previous book, Dharam. Anyway, moving on, another famous writer that we are discussing in this video is Vivek Shanbhag. He's actually one of the most famous authors in Kannada literature. At one point, the entire BookTube India was talking about his book Ghachar Ghochar. And because of some deep-rooted self-image issues, I ran in the opposite direction and I never even looked up this author and his brilliant work. Seriously, shame on me. Anyway, I'm hoping to get to Ghachar Ghochar this year, and who knows, I'll also pick up Sakina's Kiss. That's the latest book. It's a thriller revolving around the underworld and dirty journalism. It's very interesting. It sounds very interesting. Only thing I want to question here is the Reading age that's mentioned on Amazon for this book, 8+ years, considering there's underworld, dirty journalism, and the book's name is Sakina's Kiss. Not saying kiss is a bad word or something. I'm not discussing parenting or anything here. I'm not qualified enough for doing that, but just wondering if this rating can really be trusted. I do not usually, like, I'm an adult, so I do not have to see the ratings, but just wondering. Anyway, we are now down to the last two books. Both are non-fiction. One is Breaking the Mold, Reimagining India's Economic Future, written by Raghuram Rajan and Rohit Lamba. Now, I have read I Do What I Do by Raghuram Rajan, and I'm telling you that the book really felt like exercise for my brain. So much of wisdom about Indian economy and how everything like that works. I loved that book. I don't know if I'll read this one. I had actually read I Do What I Do for work. I mean, I was collaborating with another channel and I read it for that. But I'm sure a lot of you would want to know about this new book by Raghuram Rajan. So, here's your reminder to check it out. Lastly, there's The Learning Trap, How Byju's Took Indian EdTech for a Ride by Pradeep K. Saha. This book is written by a journalist about a startup, the recipe that I love. And I can tell you, if I'm imagining this right, it's going to be better than most thrillers you'll read in your life. Big Billion Startup by Mihir Dalal is really one of my favorite reads, even now, even after so many years, because it was a non-fiction that was so much better than a fiction. And I'm not saying non-fiction books are better than fiction. Fiction is actually better. I can debate you on that, and I know I will always win. But this one's a rare case where this non-fiction is actually better because it reads like a thriller. And because of many other reasons. But I'm really interested to see how this one goes, because like journalism, people with independent opinions, doing a lot of research, talking about a business or a startup, and everything around it, that's just like epic story. Anyway, that's all for this particular video. Before you can go, can you do me a favor? Tell me which of these books you'll add to your to read pile. Your comments will help me bring more content that's valuable to specifically you, and that's a win-win situation for both of us. No? So yeah, comment down below, and thank you so much for watching this video. I'll be back with another video very soon.